Valor Defense Depot, Southwest Oklahoma's premier gun shop.
This is the Revik Radikl RS25B. It is probably the best scope on the market that does everything. It's not the best single scope, but it is probably the best. There's not one that I've found that would do as much as this scope does and take as much guesswork out of shooting or hunting that there is. So inside these, if you haven't really paid much attention online, this scope has ballistic software, it has weather meter software, or weather meter tools inside of it, along with just being a regular scope. If the batteries go out and none of your ballistics or anything work, if you do the long range package like you have to now from Gunwerks, don't matter. They burned it all on a turret for you up here. So all you're gonna do is turn the turret to the distance, whatever your rangefinder says, and you don't necessarily need the ballistics inside. However, if you have the ballistics inside, you've got a slight advantage because it's taking everything into consideration, from the humidity, the temperature, the altitude, everything that you're gonna need minus the wind. The wind's the only thing you still have to make the call on. That would be the next step, I guess, but the wind's always changing. So, and do you judge the wind where you're at, or do you judge the wind downrange? So you got to keep that in mind. You're judging wind all the way back and forth from your target to your muzzle. So I don't know if we'll ever see anything that'll be really good at that. I'm sure there'll be something, but there'll be a lot of computer in it. This one already has a lot, but you have multiple reticle colors. That was another cool thing about this. You have a level that's digital inside. It's a little bar that slides side to side. When you go into the center and you get it level, it brightens up and the whole thing lights up. But if your battery wasn't working, there's a bubble level mounted also on the outside of these from the factory. So takes the guesswork out if you're stuck with a scope with no battery. So you have a dumb scope, you've at least got a manual bubble level on the outside. I will tell you, I went through Gunwerks school for level 1 and 2. I did pretty decent. I'll tell you, the one time anytime that I had a problem with connecting, I could stop what I was doing, look down, and my level was not level. And that was almost every shot that I missed was accredited to my gun. You know, at 300 or 400 yards, a lot of the time, the level's not that big of an issue. It wasn't ever the 300 or 400 yard shots. It was the 800 yard shot or the 7 or the 1,000 yard shots that if that level wasn't level, that little bit of difference of the route, the scope, and the bore are the difference of them, and then having one off the side, that made all the difference, and it made me completely miss the shot. So it helps you kind of self-diagnose real quick. And that was one of the things I liked about that. So overall though, Revik Radikl RS25B, I'm super, super happy with.